I was an only child with parents who had 5 children. That's the opening mystery. But I was 10 years younger than my next oldest sibling. So I came at the end of the line. So by the time I was born, my first cousins were aunts and uncles to me, as were my other siblings. I was not in competition with them. They were there to serve, and they did. So I started out with a base of absolute total love.
So I guess, I always wanted one of those mongoose bikes. This is obviously before I was able to drive. So from one of my birthdays, I'm guessing 13 or 14, probably 14, because probably all my gifts for my 13th birthday were for my bar mitzvah, maybe 11. So I wanted a mongoose bike, and I got this amazing mongoose bike. I've been asking for my parents for a long time. They weren't super expensive, I imagine, but they were not inexpensive, and it was probably a luxury item. And so I used it to go everywhere, the previous bike. So I got this awesome bike, and it didn't work. So right away, it didn't work. And so, of course, I was frustrated. I didn't understand what had gone wrong. And so my parents were very supportive, and they're like, you know what, we'll either go back and get you another one, because they knew I did it everywhere. And I love this bike, even though I think I rode it for a day or two, and then it just stopped working. And the brakes didn't work, basically. And obviously you need to have brakes. And so we decided to take it in. So we take it in, and they tested it, and they can't get it to work until finally, and I was very distressed, but hopefully I was going to get another one. I get my money back, but we didn't know for sure. And it turned out that I had just flipped the bars around one too many times, because the bars went completely around, and it was completely cutting off the brake stuff. So my mom and dad, we decided to keep the bike, but I always remember that bike that they got me that I always wanted, because it was the thing to get. You have those tires, because I'm from a small town and everywhere was dirt roads everywhere. So that was a pretty cool bike.
Dan and I met in 1978, just at the cusp of the HIV epidemic. And I doubt that I'd be sitting here today if I hadn't met him. More than likely, probably, because those were the early days, and most of the gay guys in those days that contracted it died quickly because there were no known drugs to treat it. But anyway, we've been monogamous from the time we met, and finally got to marry in San Francisco, October 7th, 2008, just before Prop 8. But Dan and I both had to separate from our biological families for a while, because neither one accepted us. In fact, my brothers and his family still don't accept us. But Dan's family has, and hence, because we just had each other, our bonds are very strong. We have been through lots